So this week is only for the gamblers. You're right. This week is for the gamblers, man. I'm glad you said that, Marcy. There's going to be a lot of money flowing through the market this week. It's earnings. We're in earnings season, but the big boys are coming out to play today. I mean, this week here is the big boys, the FANG stocks, as y'all know. So it's going to be a lot of movement in the markets. But before we actually even start to dip on that, let's just have a quick just recap on what occurred last weekend. What we are looking at coming into this week. And I do want to welcome you guys to the Game Plan Sunday today. This is your boy Nova Man, Pierre Lawson, Gangsta Wall Street here with the Wall Street Jackboyz. Just my way of getting in the mud with my crew, with the squad, and we see what we're gonna do to find some money. So we got to scope the market to find some money. But this is a pretty interesting week here, coming off of last week here. Pretty interesting, man. We had some a lot of premium that was made at the top of the week, and then things kind of slowed down at the end of the week, of course, bringing the markets down just a little bit. But there was a couple of key events that happened, what I'm saying, as far as across the globe, and then we're talking about bird eye view. We had Draghi, who spoke last week, and those that don't know Draghi, get familiar with who Draghi is. He's like the Janet Yellen of Europe. Okay, so when he speaks, he has the ability to make the markets move as well. So he's speaking on that level there. Then we had some things that happened with Trump and Spicer. He resigned, and now he got the Scaramucci guy that's in there. So anytime when things are shaky on White House, it affects the stock markets, because just believe it or not, this is no conspiracy thing. Everything got to answer to Wall Street when it comes to business and money, man. Point blank, period. That's just the way it goes. And so we just be able to see these things, and this is helpful for you to know, just in case you got positions that's out there, you need to know how to play them, whether you need to get in or get the hell up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So you see things going wrong because we're active with our investing. We're active, so we're able to be the first responders. You know what I mean? Versus those people that are not active, they take a huge hit. So. And then, again, we don't get on politics, you know what I'm saying? Because, people get so crazy on politics, but we do talk about the politics that affects the stock market, geopolitics. If there's a nuke or anything going off, that's going to affect the stock market. So, let me just take a look at the VIX here. And so this thing here, this gauge I'm showing you guys, this is the fear gauge, right? So for those that don't know what the VIX is, pretty much this is like complacency in the market. When you see this VIX, VIX, this is fear calculated. So yeah, they calculate fear, all right? And then you can make money off of this too. You can actually trade it. To be honest, you can actually sell options and stuff on it, buy and sell options on it. But the only thing that you really need to know about this this tool here, this VIX indicator, is that when it is high, that's bad news, okay? So anytime you see, let me just see if I can go back. Anytime you see it high, it peaks up. If it goes up, and you see like this, when that happens, it go up, the market is gonna, it's coming down, That's where we have our little flash crashes and things like that. Lots of money gets, shooken up out of the market. So if you holding positions that's going to the bullish side, you better get out of them. All right. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. We don't hold it through that type of stuff. All right. But when it hits these lows, okay, when it hits these lows, what this is saying is complacency in the market. Okay. There's been a lot of doomsday people, ever since the election came, predict the market's going to crash, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it can crash, but we have no indicator to actually provide any kind of substance or proof that that's going to happen, especially when the VIX is at an all-time low. Okay, it's extremely low, lower than it's been over the past year. All right, so when that is low like that, this is good for the markets to go up. Okay, so again, when I told you guys last week in the last Game Plan Sunday, I said the markets are going to go higher. So if you guys remember that one, this is part of the reason, okay? So when we see stuff like that, now it can go up, but we don't see that, right? And what can make it go up like this is, there's a nuke, some geopolitical activity, that's the stuff that makes stuff, spike up like that. And then, of course, things with the feds. If you guys got the newsletter, I hope you got the newsletters. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. It's entertaining, but it's also jewels that's dropped in those newsletters. So, I plan on writing more. Hope you guys stick to it and I keep it around. If not, then we just, it's just a waste of time if I can't get you guys to read it. So make sure you subscribe and read it. But, we talked about Janet Yellen and her position at the FOMC, how they affect the money. And whenever Yellen speaks, she has the ability to make the market do that. The fear goes up. That means people are selling. So, just understand that. So that's what happened this week. Basically, we're coming off of lows in the VIX. And so for that reason alone, the market is poised to move higher. And then we actually, I know we caught a setup over in the Russell, and that setup is still valid. And I wish Mark was here tonight, but I understand everybody got their family things to do, because this is one that he brought to my attention here. And then we jumped into it. We got into this play because there was a setup, and that's in this one here. And the setup is still going on. Okay. So, and Bridget, you know what setup this is, buddy. Squeeze. Okay. We got the squeeze. We entered here with the trigger. We had a buy trigger that's there. Also the crossover MACD, that was the same indicator there. And so, the entry point, of course, was, here. And we saw it rally up, but it didn't hit our target yet. It just had a small pullback. Had a small pullback on this one. And there potentially could be a little more pullback. If it pulls back to my 142.03, this is a 78.6 line. If we pull back to this line, then I may add more to the position. You say, how would you add more? Okay. You guys still there with me right now? Can you hear? Hello? All right. Sorry about that. You guys, for those who just joined, we're in the middle of a thunderstorm here, so I do apologize. In the middle of a thunderstorm, some things are shaky right now, but we're on the tail end of it, so it should be on its way out. That's why I decided to have it. I was going to cancel the meeting, but there's no need to do that. Okay, I'm about to get the screen back up for you guys. Just give me 1 second. Oh. All right, so it is asking me to actually update it. So let me finish updating it here. Wish they would give me like a notice that I need to do these updates. All right, what about now? Can you guys see it now? It's still loading. Okay, give me 1 second. Oh, yeah. So while I load this thing up here, we got the, again, still looking at IWM. We're still in the setup on IWM because of the squeeze that's present. We have a trade set up. We had buy triggers, so we got in. And we're waiting for it to fire. It hasn't fired. We just have a small little pullback. Let's see. What about now? No, not now. Hold on. Here we go. All right. Can you guys see it now? Are we back? Are we back? All right, good. Great. All right, so try to make this swift here. All right, good. So we're in the squeeze here. This is the ideal moment for you to get in on a stock, whatever. We had a trigger, tell us to get in and wait to get in right here. And then the plan is to ride it to the target. These two green lines on the Fibonacci, this is the 127 extension and the 161 extension. Those are our targets off of the Fibonacci. And we haven't hit that target yet. So this is still good. It's still good. If it falls down here, that's still fine, because we're still looking for it to bounce up here. Remember, I just told you the VIX is at all-time low, so we're expecting the market to push up even higher because there's complacency in the market that makes investors want to invest more and buy more. So it's a good time for that to happen. So I'm still expecting for this squeeze to fire long. Now, we don't know if it's going to happen or not, because nobody knows the future, but we have enough evidence to show that that's going to happen. If you look back in the past, squeeze happened there. First green dot is a fire. Boom. That's what you see happen. Every time you see this, squeeze. First green dot, fire. Boom. That's what we see. So we just identify these patterns, right? Boom. That's what happens. We normally see a big move there. Again, we don't know the future, but we can see that that's there. First green dot, we're expecting for this thing to at least hit this 144 target. That's the first target, where if you have more than one position, you can start offloading some of that right there. And then, look for a second target as well to offload your second positions there, your final positions there. And we're not carrying anything, even if it goes higher, we're out at that point. Okay, you don't want to be buying at these highs. You want to get in while it's quiet. That's the whole purpose of the squeeze. Get in while it's quiet, ride a wave up. All right. What else we got? Us. Bridgie is talking about Chipotle. Okay, let's actually pull up Chipotle. Let's pull up Chipotle, because that was like one of the topics of the week. And anybody can see this chart. Can you guys tell me, is this a bullish chart or this is a bearish chart on Chipotle? This is Chipotle. Just type in the chat, bullish or bearish. What is the trend? What is the overall trend on CMG? Chipotle. Bearish. That's right. It is completely bearish. Utterly bearish. In fact, it's so bearish that I wanted to actually tell you guys in the group. RIP. All right. This stock is dead to me. All right. Now, the reason why it's dead to me is because I am my normal strategy is bullish. So you guys get that. You see most of the things that I'm looking for and looking towards is bullish. The reason why is because the overall trend of the market, the whole overall trend is bullish. Okay. And so the idea is to follow the trend until the trend ends. That's in everything in life, pretty much. It don't matter if it's clothing, it's music. In stocks, it's the same thing, the trend. You follow the trend until the trend ends. That's what we're looking at. So the whole overall market is going higher. And so that's what I'm looking at, because that's what's going to continue to happen. And so, but sometimes, to bait away your portfolio, you look for some negative exposure. I have no reason to want to participate in Chipotle, except for the fact that they have earnings coming up, which earnings is, let me see, when are earnings? Is it Tuesday? Yeah, I believe it's Tuesday here. Just right click. I feel like looking at all that. All right. Live. Okay, nothing there. You guys can just verify that, but I believe Tuesday is earnings. But y'all remember, earnings was the ish, right? It was the ish. If you guys are in the group a couple of months back, well, we actually made a lot of money off Chipotle. It was like every freaking week. In fact, let me show you, okay? Chipotle was the ish. I'm trying not to cuss here. Y'all know, working on that. Chipotle was the ish back here in April. All right, that's the time. It tells you the time back in April. So you got in April. We were just riding this bad boy up, in here, exit out of here. exit out of there, back in when it hit the mean, exit out of there, come back in here. We actually ran this joint up like crazy, right? And we exit out of there. All right. Like we roll this every step of the way, we was able to identify all these setups and we made money the whole ride up, all the way until it reached this high. Then shit hit the fan. Excuse me, I just cussed and I was trying not to. All right. So it hit the fan. Now, if you was actually looking for some short side exposure, then that was the lit right there. When you got the signal there to go short, every time it hit there, you could have just shorted it. And right now it's just free falling. All right. So free falling, and when things are free falling, I don't participate in because there's no setup for me. Okay. And it doesn't matter like which experienced trader is playing it. You need to understand risk before you get in. It's like, why would you get into something looking for it to go up when it is not following the trend? That will turn it into a counter trend. Okay. And so it just makes it your chances of success on a trade like that becomes very low just because it's not even following the trend. Now you guys see this big blue line, this big 200 moving average here. Anytime the candlesticks are trading above that line, that is good for bullish setups. Okay. So as you see, once the candlesticks here came above it, that's when we started making our bullish trades. Now, once the candlesticks are trading under here, I can only look to the downside for it. Okay, this is bearish. And even if it floors up, if they beat earnings, it could floor up a little bit, make its little comeback, try to come back. But 9 times out of 10, on its way up, if it comes up to this blue line here, it's going to actually fall back down again. Like it's just, for some odd reason, that's the way that the candlesticks behave on that line. So it can come up here. If this line follows down here, then it's going to fall back down again. So anyway, but I just want to clear that out. I have no positions in Chipotle, and I will not be playing it, and that is the reason why. So I hope you guys are saying. I know the news, Bridget. The news, rats falling from the ceiling, people getting sick, craziness. I don't know if those things are people just trying to sabotage the restaurant or what have you. But whatever it is, it's not good, man. So it's not good when it comes to the money on that. So if you want to short it, I would not be opposed to that. But I just we rolled away. It's over. It's on to the next. Like there's so much other place for us to actually focus attention on. That's why I can't get out with any kind of attention right now. Let's take a look at Google. It's Google. They have their earnings Monday at the close. Okay, so Google got their earnings tomorrow after the close. Is it Monday? No, I believe it's Monday, Bridgie. Let me see. Yeah, it's earnings, July 24th. So if you hover your mouse over these symbols here, they tell you when the earnings are. July 24th, that is tomorrow at the close. So it's going to be after the bell. Google is going to give their earnings. Again, if you're playing earnings, that's not our typical setup. Earnings are crapshoots. That's gambling. If you're gambling, if you like to gamble, then this is a time for you to actually get in on some gamble plays because they can go either way. You don't know. Okay, we already seen that, and we wrote about that in the newsletter before, so I hope you guys got those jewels that just dropped in that. But even if they can beat earnings, they could still, drop. I do expect for them to beat their earnings, okay? Not only do I expect for them to beat their earnings, I'm expecting Facebook, and I'm also expecting Amazon to beat their earnings as well. It might not be a blowout, but I do believe that they're going to beat their earnings. Now, this is the reason why I believe that, okay? Now, we're technical traders. We'd like to see technicalities to make our positions, but then also I'm not one of those traders that's a robot. Okay, so I do understand the news and things like that. This is the reason why Google, Amazon, and Facebook have pretty much monopolized the internet. Okay, it's a lot of people that's really upset about that. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but you guys that's new understand what's going on with Google, Amazon, Facebook. Like the FANG stock, Microsoft as well. They've monopolized the internet, which was something the internet wasn't created for. So it's a lot of regulators that's looking into these companies now, trying to find a way to get them down. And that's why we started seeing some of that pullback back here. You know what I mean? But that's when we started seeing those pullbacks in these stocks. But every new business that's going to be created have to go through these companies. And no matter what you're doing, Google owns the advertising space. Facebook owns the social media space. Amazon owns the cloud technology. and Microsoft as well. So it's like, whatever business you're doing, they're going to benefit these companies. So as long as we got growth in the economy, jobs being created, blah, 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 these companies will benefit. Because of that reason, I can only see that they're going to continue to go up. So that is what I say here. We will find out how they're doing in this quarter. Now, even if they don't do well in one quarter, that doesn't mean that they're not continuing to go up overall. Again, the overall trend, if you go back, if you want to know the trend, go look on a weekly chart or a monthly chart. And so you go over the week and you see this is the trend. Remember, follow the trend until it ends. That is a trend. Okay, higher highs, higher lows. That's what we're looking at. So anyway, I expect to see these continue to push forward and go up. So, you guys may want to get into some positions on that tomorrow. It's a risky play. Just understand your risk. If you're going to do a trade, make sure you define your risk. Okay. But yeah, so I'm getting that bullish on that. And, the setup is still good. So, even with the setup here, again, if it falls, you can expect it to go, all the way down there. But if it goes up, I'm expecting it to hit that first target, about 10.15. Then it may push up to 10.42. Again, these stocks, they normally behave the Fibonacci. So this is my Fibonacci analysis on it. Amazon, which we just talked about that one. See, Amazon is so freaking high, I have to go push in on it on lower, smaller time frames. That's why I've been looking at it, because it's been going berserk. All right, it's going berserk. And so you remove those. Again, back to the same analysis on this. They have earnings on the 27th. I believe the 27th. Is that the one you talking about, Reggie? Thursday? Let's see. Thursday? Okay, good. So Amazon, their earnings. Yep, their earnings are on Thursday. And Corey, pinning a stock, basically what it is pinning a stock. And when stocks pin, meaning that you see a target, all right? You see a target, and I'm gonna show you guys real quick because I'm gonna see if we can possibly find a pin. But you see a target with the pricing, where you see the open interest, where everybody's buying at, okay? You can see the contracts that everybody's buying, that price. If that's the highest price, there's a high chance that stock is gonna go to that price because of that. And so what you do is you want to, do like a butterfly play, like, you normally use like a butterfly for pinning, meaning that you're expecting for it to hit that target, and you hit that target, you're going to hit your max profit, off of that. Look at Apple, it pinned at 150. All right. And just to quickly show you this real quick. This thing is moving so slow today. Freaking thunderstorms. All right. I don't even think this is accurate here. It's got a lot of NAs on here, but they could be doing an update. So I don't know if this doesn't even look right. But sometimes the system does updates over the weekends, and this has been up all day, so I don't think it's had its update yet. But I can't see a pin there. Let me see Apple, since Bridgie brought that up. Same here. So I need to update the Thinkorswim here, actually. Okay. 150 was a pin here. So let me just kind of show you here. This is not the way that it normally looks. But what we're looking at here is like that amount of volume, okay? That 14,000. And then we got 25,000 all at this 150 strike. And if you look at the other ones, these are really small. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got 2,600, 1,200, 300, 900. Okay, like you can see, like, just looking at where you get the most action at. So if you got 8,000 here, again, we got, higher numbers here on the higher strikes versus the puts. So again, we just got all the evidence to show that this stock is going to push higher, right? So it's definitely anticipated for it to push higher, but this pin is what they were looking at for it to pin. All right. And so if you did a butterfly trade on this one, then you had max profit off of it. You predicted that it was going to pin at this 150. Now, again, this is in hindsight because we're already here now. But again, we have to be able to kind of look into the future, predict the future, if you will, to be able to see those things. And the way that you see it, Corey, is high interest here. These high numbers, that 25,000, that 14,000 at this one number, that 150, that is evidence of a pin play. Okay, so hopefully that helps you to kind of pretty much gauge it. You know what I mean? Hope that makes sense. Anybody else got any questions or any other stocks that you guys want to look at? I'll look at the daily chart for Friday. I'm gonna look at it here. Yeah. All right, and we see Apple here. Let's get some more screen real estate here. And I have my Fibonacci that's here that's already drawn on it. And you guys see, let me see here. Now the Fibonacci is present. It wasn't at 150, right? It was at 151, right? So the 61.8. This here, again, already had this charted a while back. Okay, so we charted this, way back in June. This is this Fibonacci chart here. I did it back here June 19, so it's still holding. And this 618, that is a major resistance line. So when stocks get there, they stutter. They don't. I mean, they normally do not blow through it. They really need a squeeze and a fire to push through that. If they don't have the squeeze and fire, chances are they just really don't push through it. But when they get here, we see that they do push back down. All right. If they get there. So we see that actually literally happening here. Push here. And so, but it's not, it doesn't mean it's going to push all the way back down here. And when are their earnings? Let me see. Okay, so they got earnings around August 1st. All right. So there could be some challenges in here. Again, this pin play is for it to move sideways pretty much. So the whole notion is for it to continue to bump up against this line pretty much. May have some pullbacks in here, right? Until we see a squeeze start to form. When we see a squeeze form, because that's what it normally takes for it to push through this line. Once it can break through there, then we'll see it hit their target. First target, second target. That's the way that this setup normally works. And this is the setup that I use. All right. So just keep that in mind. Don't see anything that says it's going to push through it yet. But this is just, it's a Sunday again. Who knows what's going to happen. It could get uplifted from the whole NASDAQ pushing up higher. So when the Amazon, Google, and all this other stuff, and Facebook and them push higher, they may carry Apple along with them because they're all in that same sector. All right. So let's keep that in mind. The intraday shows the pin all day. Yeah, let me just go in on that pin again. Yeah, thank you, Bridget. That's a 30-minute chart. Let's go on my 5-minute here. Right. And so this is smaller here. And those that know my work, if you guys got classes, then you know this whole setup. You got this whole setup with my moving averages. If the Fibonacci doesn't work on a chart, if it doesn't, the candlesticks don't behave towards the Fibonacci, then they behave towards the moving averages pretty much. And as you see, this big blue line, this stock could not clear that line. Every time it bump up against it, it even went down to my 49 moving average. It bump up against it, come down, it push up, never push through it, stay down. All right, that's just on a smaller intraday chart. So it's held still in support of the 618, that's the 151. All right, but there's nothing that's showing that it's going to be able to push through that just yet. Now you got until August for the earnings. All right. But yeah, if you look on this 30-minute, you guys know this is what I use all through the day. This 30-minute is what I'm using through the day. And as you see here again, with that Fibonacci working there, you can see it just easier. It's going sideways. So those who put a butterfly trade on this one, that pin play, and on the butterfly, your max profit, your profit grid looks something like that. You know what I mean? So then that number, you had the body of the butterfly right there. So as the stock moves up and down, and as long as it stays right in this zone, you maximize your profit. That's pretty much how that works. All right. Anybody got anything else that you guys are looking at? Let me see. So we got the Qs. Let me go back on the daily. All right, the Qs are still in there. See, all these stocks are pushing higher. Let's take a look at when that's there on the list. We got win in the squeeze. Earnings in 2 days. Let's see. Again, Marcy, you want to do a butterfly on that. That's how you do. That's how you do the pin plays. Yeah. And as Bridget said, pin plays are usually made on a day of monthly expirations, third Friday of each month. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, again, that's another type of trade that you can do on it. But understand your risk on those earnings trades. Earnings are crapshoots. But again, you got that insight of being able to see the prices where, saying where the action is at. And the candlesticks follow the action. Candlesticks is going to go where the price is at. And I can't even show you guys a grid because I need to do the update here because it's just looking a mess. Anything else on anybody else's radars? Anybody see anything that interests you that you want to take a look at here before we bring the session to a close here? Look at when Visa has a nice move. Those earnings. Let's see, Nvidia. All right, so I still got these charted up. Nvidia, I still got the bullish outlook on this one, but keep in mind this Nvidia is extended. All right, when it's extended, understand if it goes over that line. All right, when it goes over that line, then that's overbought territory. So we can see it fall back through because it's overbought. And we see the MACD is starting to cross down. So we could see some pullback here on Nvidia. And actually, that'd be a little idea if it can pull back, to this 162. If it can pull back here, I'd be interested in getting involved in it for a bullish play back to the upside. Or even if it comes down here to the golden ratio, the 618, then that also be, a good place to enter because again, it's extended because it's overpriced. So anything goes over this is overpriced. You know what I mean? So you want to get in at a better deal on it. So it's soaring high in the sky. I want it to come down a tad bit, come down to these levels, and I like to play it to the upside. I don't think it's going to hit that 190, but it can definitely hit that 178, and that's just 10 points. Let's see what the market makers got to say about that. You just go here to your trade tab, and you can see they got the prices. They got it all priced in for you in advance. So in 26 days, they are pricing in a 20-point move on NVIDIA. Wow. So, wow, yeah, that just might hit it actually. So 20-point move, and that's 20 plus or 20 down. That's what they're pricing in on. So let's actually just calculate that in. 188. So they're looking at about a 188 to bull side, and then 140. Okay, you got 148 to the bear side. So that's your plus, that's your minus. All this stuff is built into it. It tells you in advance this is what the stock is going to do. I mean, that's one thing you got to love about options. All this shit is in here for you, not with stocks, but with options. All this math is in there for you. So that just gives you predictability edge. And then you can just tie it up and look at the numbers in here. So, for me, again, if it fall here, I would definitely like to pick it up around there. and try to ride it up here to this 178 and hit that 178. I'm out of there. You know, I'm not trying to see it go to 188. It could, which that'll bring us close to this target here. But you know, we don't know. So you got to take profits as often as possible when it comes to this game. If you just hang around in there and just mess around, lose your money when it decides when to go the other way. All right, we got AVGO. What did I do on this one? Let me clear this work. It's a lot of stuff I did in the past, of course, and that's how we do it. You know, we tried it in the past. So let's take a look here. Now, the first thing that we can clearly see on this chart, AVGO, I'm gonna let you guys tell me real quick: is AVGO overbought, or is it oversold, or is it properly priced? Can you guys identify that? I'll give you 20 seconds. Come on. There we go. Overbought. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are sophisticated, man. Y'all are sophisticated. Well, I tell you. Whew. I'm loving the progress here. So yeah, over this line here, we got that. We're in overbought territory. I mean, everything up here is it's really expensive. Um, it's really expensive and poised to break down. We see the MACD is also headed down, you know, to cross underneath the blue line. The burgundy line got here under the blue line. Once it crossed under there, then we got to look at the short side. And no, Corey, I know you had, that's just one part of the analysis. Remember, you use all these things in tandem to make your assessment, right? So that's just one of the things that we have to consider is that, well, this stock is extended. Okay, so you may hear me say something about a stock being extended. I mean, it's, you know, it's expensive, right? You know what I mean? It's high. And, you know, normally once they get into those zones, people start to profit taking, they sell off. So do you want to buy in on a stock that's in that zone? Well, you can, but you just need to be careful. Make sure that you trade with protection, okay? Uh, just because of that downside. But if you want to know should you go bullish or bearish, I encourage you to look on the weekly chart. All right, this is the trend. The trend is your friend until it ends. Is this a bullish chart or is this a bearish chart? You guys tell me. If the highs are going higher and the lows are going higher, that is completely bullish. All right, bullish. Okay, so I never go bearish on a bullish chart. You know what I mean? If I don't see a setup on it, I'm not going to trade it. That's just you know the way I do it because there's so many stocks that we can trade out here. I don't waste my time on things that I don't have a setup on. So let me just see here. I'm gonna do the Fibonacci from there. Let me see if I can find some ebbs and flows on it. Just real quick. All right. Well, I'm not even gonna do the floors on it. Let me just show the retracements because we can see the Fibonacci is showing that it's you know it's already extended pretty much, and so it's at that zone where you know it's starting to stutter. Right when you get to that line, it's starting to stutter. Now, this could actually go down. And that candlestick, I'm not into the candlestick science, but that candlestick, that's a doji. I don't know if you guys know the candlestick science, but doji, that's a reverse symbol. Okay, that means to look for a reversal in the price. So actually, that's a good indicator too short, to be honest with you, Corey. But that's just not a trade that I'm going to make. But you know, it has evidence to support that we're at a ceiling. We got a doji. We can expect to see it come back. I don't know how far it's going to come down, but you know, probably right here to the 786. But overall, I think it's going to still push higher though. All right. Hopefully that was clear enough for you, man. Again, you know, with options, we can do the short trades on it. You know what I mean? So you can do a short trade for a couple of days, make you some money off of it, and then get out of it. You know, that's the way that I would look at it if you're going to do it that way, man. No doubt. Anybody got anything else that you guys want to look at here quickly? Facebook blew through those Fibonacci's. That's extended. But I think it's going to push even harder, though, push even higher. Earnings coming up 2 days. Excuse me, 3 days. So earnings coming up. I believe they're going to beat. See how that works out. Other than that, man, I'll keep you guys posted if I see anything else that shows up on the radar or anything like that. I just don't see anything that really stand out for me at this point. Again, it's Sunday. A lot of stuff starts to shape up on the weekdays. But you guys got any questions? Louise, do you have anything that you're looking at, Louise? Or any questions that you want to look at? Marcy, Corey. I know Bridgie already know what time it is. Bridgie, you might got some. What else you playing right now, Bridgie? Are you playing anything right now? You be doing those high risk trades. Okay. Trying to open Thinkorswim, but it's taking forever to open. Okay, Louise, and as you see, like with my platform, when the numbers are looking crazy with all these NAs, that's normally when they're doing an update over the weekend. That's probably why it's taking forever for your platform to open up, because they normally do the updates over the weekend. So just try to reset it and things like that and see if it'll open up. Normally they're doing an update. That's probably what happened. And if that doesn't work, then I would encourage you to just call them up on Monday. Tech support, they take good care of you on that. Corey, for Amazon. Yeah, man. Hey, man, Amazon, I done told you guys, man, the whole assessment on that. Amazon is the truth, man. Amazon is the now and the future. It's no reason for this stock to be going down. You know what I mean? It's, every week it's something new. They bought Whole Foods. They're gonna kill that. They got the clothing thing now. So you don't have to go to the mall anymore. You just buy your clothes from Amazon. They send it to you. You keep whatever you want to keep and send back the rest. You don't even have to leave the house. They bring it to you. Now they got to deal with Nike. So again, who does this hurt though? You know what I mean? Like, what industries does that hurt? As Amazon continue to grow, you guys are witnessing the death of the retail sector. Just point blank, period. Amazon is a beast, man. You're literally looking at the potential death of Walmart. All right. And Walmart hating on them right now. They're telling all the people, man, don't buy your cloud technology from Amazon. Go through Microsoft. And that's because they compete in the same space. But their technology, Amazon controls most of the cloud technology. And we're in the cloud era. So again, as I mentioned earlier, all those businesses, all the new businesses being created from now on, they gotta go through cloud. You got to go through Google, you got to go through Amazon, you got to go through Facebook, you got to go through all these things, whatever business you're starting. So who benefits from that? Amazon does. And, Macy's, stores like Macy's, they shut down most of all these stores. You know what I mean? Like, Macy's was a joint. Now you got Amazon. And now your Whole Foods, your groceries, you're going to be ordering those off of Amazon. They're going to be bringing it to your door. Again, this stock, I can only see it going higher. They forever amazes you. Every week is something new that they're buying and taking over. And when they take over, they take over. Hammer and reversal candle. Yeah, again, there's no reason for it to go down because, and again, like this hit right here, that little flash crash there, which was big. Again, to me, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but again, a lot of people that's been upset, regulators, we're talking about regulators, the government, about them monopolizing the internet, where, you used to have, you guys play Monopoly, you got the utilities that used to control everything. Nowadays, it's the tech companies that's leading everything. And I believe that it could possibly produce a systemic risk with the economy. If these stocks fall, if they fail, then that could, be very severe to the whole U.S. economy. And so that's the issue with having stocks to go up this much and have so much of the U.S. economy in there. You know what I mean? If they were to fail, that'll happen. But this is just again, we see how it raised up here, and it was crazy high, and then it dropped here, But look where it's at now, even higher. That was just a shake off. It was like, well, you can't stop technology, but we can slow it down. And so that's when you had that day. That was just like, man, let's slow these guys down, man. Like they doing too much. They buying too much. You know what I mean? Just look at that. That's bananas. So again, man, you just bought in here every week, just buy the dips on this, and you just make mad money off of it. All right. But it is extended, so just keep that in mind. But so when it comes to the extensions with Amazon, I'm not going to tell you to ignore it. But as we've seen this year, Amazon just be like, F everybody, F your extensions, they taking over. Like, so even when they get into these extension zones, I've seen this year that they've actually just pushed even higher. You know what I mean? Like, they still be like, F everybody. So here we go. We get in that zone again. You potentially see it's going high, it's going to go up again. This is overpriced. For those people that want to buy stocks, you don't want to buy this at this price. That's overpriced. That'd be stupid for you to buy that. It doesn't matter if it's going to go up here 10 years from now. Buying it there would not be a smart move. You want to wait for it to fall down. Let it fall down here. Fall down here. That's the place to get it. And all the people that bought it here, those are people who are, making the money right now. So don't believe the hype. Do you think they will ever do a split? Man, I don't think. Well, this is the thing, Luis. Amazon splitting. I don't think no company wants to split. The only way that I think that would happen is if the government comes in to regulate, to break them up. And the government has a way of doing that when your bridges you get too big for your bridges, right? Amazon is pretty much a little too big for their bridges, but they had to actually be able to present a case that, Amazon felt it would ruin the U.S. economy. It's what we call systemic risk. And if they can do that, that'll take a long time and some legal procedures. But something law for that, I wouldn't count it out in the near future, to be honest with you, if that was to happen, because so much is going into these tech companies. So it's like the weight of the world is resting on these tech companies, and if they F up, then that can cause issues. And, we have monetary law and people that control those things that can't allow that to happen. And so that'll give them grounds to be able to come in, break up, and split this company up. So, who knows, man? That's just my little theory on that. Okay, I need to learn how to do a butterfly then. Can you teach? Yeah, we do need to know the butterfly. Higher highs, higher highs. Yeah, I'll yeah, I can look into doing again, I gotta, teach you guys to do some of the more advanced strategies, the butterflies, the iron condors, things like that. The thing is that I didn't want to get too far ahead when we have as a group, we're still in the growing stages, and we're close to 500 members right now. So we've gained over 100 people in less than 30 days, still growing. I'm trying to get more people to participate and to catching up to where we are now. And so the whole goal is to get you guys, equipped with the knowledge to make money now. Like, so you'll get these things. And even when you get them, it doesn't mean that you're always going to pull them out, but it's good to know them so you can pull them out of the bag when you feel like pulling them out the bag. But the vertical spreads, they're basically the building blocks of those other trades, the iron condors, the butterflies, what have you. They are just a combination of the vertical spreads. Okay, you can put together a put spread and the credit spread, put them all together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just basically combining them, and your profit ratios, it gives off a shape, whether it's the condor, the iron condor, or it's the butterfly shape. And that's just basically your profit grid, your profit loss grid. But you got to understand that those are commission heavy trades too. You pay more money in your commissions. And so that's the downside to them. It doesn't mean that you're going to make more money with those trades, to be honest. You do end up paying more money on the commissions and things like that too. So just because it's fancy, and I wish there was another guy who was in here, he's always asking about these fancy trades and he don't even know how to do the basic trades. Now, you got to learn the spreads first, man. You got to think about it. In a vertical spread, right, you still make money if the stock goes sideways, right? If it goes sideways or if it goes up. Even if it goes down a little bit, you can still make a little money if the volatility, goes right. So you have still 2 out of 3 ways to make money with those vertical spreads. So still, keep those on. But that pin play is hard to call it. You feel me? With that butterfly, you got broken wing butterflies, you got iron butterflies. Listen, there's so many ways to make money in options. I don't have any. Well, as of right now, I have no intent on teaching all the different ways to make money on that. So you you guys can go and do the research on it. And basically, like I told you before, they're basically combinations of the spreads that I taught you. So if you go in here, you look at buy, all of these are different strategies. All right. Singles, verticals, back ratios, calendars, diagonals, straddles, strangles, cover stock, collars, butterflies, condors, iron condors. You can roll a trade, do collars, double diagonals, unbalanced butterflies. So you got unbalanced butterflies, condors, iron condors, those unbalanced. You got these deep ones. It's so much stuff. It's too much. You know what I mean? I don't even use all those things. So even if you know all those things, don't mean you're going to use all of them anyway. So I don't want you to think that you're at a disadvantage because you don't know all those trades. For me personally, I don't even use those trades. You know what I mean? I stick to what I know. I'm buying singles and buying verticals, selling. Okay, that's just it. You know what I mean? Once in a while, I do a butterfly. All right, and you can do iron condors too, but again, they're commission heavy, so I normally don't really participate in those that much. But they're there. Zuckerberg live on Facebook, only 4.6K watching him. You can't beat the Donald. Y'all crazy. Higher highs. All right, man. So I'm going to conclude the session here, man. I would want to thank you guys for joining. It was pretty skimpy today, but again, some very bad weather conditions. So, but we'll get to it throughout the week. You guys stay with the updates. If anything comes to attention, comes to your attention, make sure you present it to the group. Got any trades or whatever. We need to make this money, man. But another thing to be on the lookout for this week is look out for Trump. Definitely look out for Trump because not just Trump with Trump, but just like Trump policies. Look out for monetary policies, the repeal of the Obamacare. If they can get that stuff passed, all those things are have some kind of effect on the market too. So let's see how they do with that. If he gets anything passed right now, the market is moving up just based off of the mere whim that he can, that he's going to be able to produce those things. But, as of right now, those laws and things like that, he's having a struggle with a lot of it actually. So, if he have any breakthroughs, we definitely going to see the markets continue to go up. But if he doesn't, then we'll see some pullbacks. But yeah, most certainly. All right, and I'll take a look at those, Luis, in the group on Facebook. If you need it, I can post the charts on those, and we'll do an assessment on that. I'm going to conclude the session, man. You guys have a wonderful evening, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the newsletter. The newsletter is out there. If you don't, then make sure you subscribe it, share it with a friend, share it on your Facebook. Make sure, get the word out, man. This is very valuable information, and, we got some good stuff. And I may go live on Facebook tonight, so I got some other issues I want to talk about, so we may go in a little more. But I do appreciate you guys, man. Peace and love.